10 years ago, I was a freshman playing for Merck. And for me, my goal at the time was like, I want to play on varsity. Okay? I was at Harvard Fields. I wanted to play varsity for my sophomore year. I ended up playing varsity for, anybody know Agostina? So I played varsity as a sophomore, and then I went on to play 3 years of varsity at Harvard Fields. Okay? So the point is, to me, I had a pretty good career at Harvard because I was all county, whatever, but it's about whatever your goal was, you have to be committed to it. Okay. So what I want to do for the next, just to give you guys an idea, I want to talk a little bit, like we are, get to know you guys, and then we'll work out. You have to watch the best players in the world, right? The NBA is the best league in the world. So who do you guys like to watch? Give me somebody. Favorite player?
Me?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving, okay. Yeah. Kyrie's
Durant.
KD?
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard, good choice. Russell Westbrook. Steph. Harden. Just to fast forward a little. Now I coach in NBA G League. Anybody know what that is? Somebody tell me what the G League is. Obviously it's not beating on my shirt.
It's kind of like the NBA minor league.
Yeah, it's NBA minor. Okay, that's what it is. Every team has a minor league team. Anybody never heard of the G League? No, anybody's heard of it? Okay, so I coach in the G League. The way you get better is by watching the best players, and then when you come in the gym and say you're going through a workout with Joe, you should be envisioning the game and what you saw and what you've studied on TV, right? Just naturally, you should be envisioning where the defense is, right? If I'm attacking the hill, I should be imagining the defender and how he's gonna react to my moves. Okay, so I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind when you're working out. So watching the NBA, whatever your basketball goals are, is a huge thing, okay, especially when you're working out. Going back to me for a second, I played college basketball. But when you talk about your basketball goals, what do you think it takes to reach your goals? Somebody tell me something that takes, if you have a goal, what's it going to take to get there?
Determination.
Determination, that's a good one. Definitely a good one. Somebody else? Hard work, of course. Smaller goals? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. Anybody? Anybody else? A couple things that come to mind for me: commitment. What does that mean? Being committed. What does it mean to be committed to something? You gotta want to do it, right? Sacrifice. What does that mean? Willing to do it. You might have to give up something to do it. You might have to give some stuff up. So I came out of high school and I wanted to play Division I. That was my only thought. I want to play Division I, like you just said. Right? I want to play Division I. Nothing else would satisfy that. Okay, so I was committed and I was dedicated. So what I needed to do was sacrifice. So I remember anybody got prom? You got prom coming up? Like this year? You already had it already? So I had senior prom, and as far as I knew, I was going to Quinnipiac to play Division I. I was told I was going to be on the team. Anybody know what a walk-on is? Somebody tell me what's a walk-on. Tryout, right? So they have like preferred walk-ons, right? Where they say like, all right, come here, you can be on the team, you're not necessarily a scholarship. Okay, so for me, I took it as, okay, I'm going to go be a walk-on at Quinnipiac, and I'm going to prove to everybody that I should have been on scholarship. It's dedicated, it was my goal, and I was determined that I was going to prove that to everybody. Okay? Because I didn't get recruited, right? So, what do you call that? So I wanted to get recruited, and didn't happen, right? So you have to be persistent. What's persistence?
Like, keep going.
Keep going. Good, thank you. Okay. So persistence. My goal was to play Division I. I didn't get recruited, didn't happen. Okay. So you're persistent. You fight through it. So now, okay, I'm going to go to Quinnipiac. And I'm going to play Division I. I'm going to prove to people that I should have been recruited. Okay, so I go to Quinnipiac 3 days after my senior prom. Sacrifice. Right? What did I sacrifice? Summer. Right? I wasn't hanging out with my friends. I wasn't going to the beach. I was dedicated. I was committed. I wanted to go to Quinnipiac. I was going to do whatever it took to play Division I basketball. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so I go to Quinnipiac. I get there, and as soon as I get there, they say, you're not on the team. You need to try out in the fall. So, what is that again? I call it, starts with an L. I said, obstacle, right? It's another obstacle. So what do you have to be?
Persistent.
Persistent, right? So you got to be persistent. So, okay, no problem. I stayed there. So for me it was, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to work, right? I'm going to work. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life, right? If you're playing Division I, you're talking about the athletes, right? The best athletes, some of the best athletes around. So you're talking about the best athletes. You got to get in the best shape, right? You got to eat right. You got to sleep right, you got to do all those things. So I did those things that summer, put on a lot of weight, right? Put on was in the weight room trying to get stronger. put on a lot of weight so you can put yourself in the best position to make the team in the fall. They didn't want it. The reality is, right, when I went to Quinnipiac, they didn't want me around. They said, maybe you'll be on the team in the fall, right? So I wasn't with the team. So now I'm at a different school. Imagine anybody transfer. Anybody ever transfer? Transfer schools? Nobody? Transfer schools? You went to Kellenberg from?
Yeah, I went to Hartford.
You went to Harvard and then transferred to Kellenberg. So what is that like? It was different. Did you know anybody when you transferred? No. Right? So it's hard. So you're in a place you don't know anybody. You don't know your surroundings. You don't know the teachers. You don't know what class is going to be like. So that's hard, right? But it takes that P word again, right? And dedication, right? So for me, I went to a different school. I stayed in the summer. I worked out. I tried to be around the team as much as possible to put myself in the best position to be around the team. Okay, the fall came. I was in great shape. I'm ready to go. I'm going to prove to everybody that I should have been on the team. What do you guys think happened? Tryouts come. I had to try out for the team. They told me that I was supposed to be in. Tryouts came. What do you think? Anybody know? Guess. Speak to me.
Didn't make it.
Huh?
You didn't make it.
Didn't make it. They cut me. Okay, so I went to Quinnipiac. Now I left 3 days after prom. I sacrificed my summer. No beach, no friends. I was at Quinnipiac, and you make a new set of friends, right? You go to a new school. After a year, you make friends. So now you got new friends. You got a whole new group of friends. You're comfortable. So that's what I did. Right? I went to Quinnipiac for the fall. I made for that year. They cut me. I made a new group of friends. I had a great time.
Played D1.
Play Division I. That was my goal. So now Quinnipiac told me you're not going to play Division I. Right? You're not playing here. You're not on the team. So are you that dedicated? They're going to do what it takes to play. Now I was fortunate, and this is what it takes. Sometimes in life you need help from somebody, and I knew somebody that had a connection to Stony Brook. Stony Brook? Yes, Stony Brook. Okay, so my connection got me in the door at Stony Brook, and they offered me the same position. You could come here and be a walk-on. Now they just told me this, right? They just told me what happened. What happened?
Made you try out.
Huh? Made you try out, and then they cut me, right? So now I left. So now I made the decision. I'm committed, right? And I knew long-term I wanted to coach basketball, right? Long-term. Anybody have a long-term goal? It doesn't have to be basketball related. Anybody know? Anybody have something they want to do later in life? What you got? You want to dunk then? You don't know? Okay. What you got? You're a senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be on Wall Street.
On Wall Street? Okay, cool. Yeah. Anybody else? Long-term goal? 10 years? Can you envision yourself my age? What are you doing at 27? Think ahead. 27, 28. What would you want to do? What did you want to do as a kid? Do you have anything you want to do as a kid? Crickets.
No doctors,
Crickets. Somebody give me something.
I'm not being
Give me something.
Finance.
Finance.
There you
okay.
go.
Another finance guy. What do you got?
something with business.
Something with business. Okay. Another finance guy. Okay. So for me, when I was sitting where you are, and I was literally sitting where you are, I wanted to coach basketball. Right? That was it. That was the only thing I wanted to do. I wanted to play Division I, and I wanted to coach basketball. Okay. So I felt like I was dedicated to my goals, and I felt like transferring again to Stony Brook would be the best. At that point, I transferred to Stony Brook, and I'm the walk-on at Stony Brook. Okay. Right? So now I go to Stony Brook, and I'm on the team, and it's hard, right? You're a walk-on, so what are you than everybody else? If there's only one, what are you? Everybody else is what? Scholarship, right? So you're a little different. So the point being that it's hard, right? So what does it take again? It takes again, it's hard. Things are going to be hard. Right, so you got to keep pushing, right? If you have a goal, you got to keep pushing towards your goal, right? Are you going to give the coach an attitude because you sat? You might, though. You might, because people do. Are you going to quit? Again, people do. That's the reality of it. When it gets hard, people quit. Okay, but if you have a goal, and if you're passionate and you're committed and you're dedicated to those goals, then you got to push through it, right? And you got to still bring a good attitude even when things are hard, right? That's the challenge, right? If it's hard and you show up, right? Say you haven't played, and obviously I'm just making an example. This is not, not going to happen to you, but you haven't played in 10 games. All you want to do is check into one. You want to check into a game. You think you deserve it, but you haven't yet. And now you pout on the bench, right? And coach sees that. He sees you pouting. What do you think that does? Speak to me. Tell me. He doesn't want to put you in, so you dig yourself a deeper hole, right? So now you have to bring that a good attitude every day. Maybe who said they want to average 10 a game? Somebody said that. 10 a game, right? So now you're not shooting the ball well. Now you're not shooting the ball well. So what are you gonna think? What's your mindset gonna be like? Are you gonna come into the next game thinking, everything's great, I'm gonna make my shots tonight? Are you gonna have a great attitude? Or are you gonna say, man, I'm not getting my shots, these guys aren't passing me the ball? Because that's what happens. That's what happens. Okay? So for me, it was hard. I didn't play. Right? Not only did I not play, I barely practiced. Barely included me in drills. Right? But again, what was my goal? Tell me. Play Division I. Right? So now I wanted to play. I wanted to prove to everybody and myself that I could play Division I. So you push through it. Okay? So I played 4 years of Division I basketball. Right? What was my goal? Play Division I basketball. I played in some games. Right? I played in some games. And the biggest lesson that I learned, and I think, some of you guys might feel this and some of you might not, but you dream about things, right? I think you dream of playing Division I. Do you dream about hitting a big shot? Do you dream about winning the game? Do you dream about going to the NCAA tournament? Right? So I'll tell you, in my 4 years, we were really good every year. We played in 3 championships, 3 American championships. How many think we won? 3 championships. 3 to go to the tournament, 3 chances. How many did we win? You guys guess 3. Any other guesses? 0. 0. Didn't go to 1.
Can't get past Vermont.
Vermont and Albany. Okay, didn't get to 1. Okay, my senior year, I felt like I put in the work, right? I sacrificed. I was committed. I was dedicated. So you think at the end of the tunnel, there's a light, right? And you deserve this, right? You deserve to make the tournament. That was my thing. That was my goal. I want to make the tournament. I deserve this. We lost, right? So the biggest lesson for me, and it's a life lesson, it's bigger than basketball, you don't deserve anything. You work and you put yourself in the best position to make stuff happen. But the reality is, nobody's gonna hand you anything. Life is not a movie, right? Life's not a movie. What happens in movies all the time?
Happy ending.
Happy ending. Guys, people are singing, everybody's kissing, everybody's celebrating, right? The reality is, that's not life. Anybody ever won something? You guys won county championship, right?
Yeah.
What happened a week later? What were you doing? You lost. Great. It's a great example, right? So in one moment, it's a good life. That's a life lesson, right? You're celebrating one moment. You're celebrating, and then what? Life punches you in the mouth, right? You got punched in the mouth. You guys lost. So for me, and along the way, you realize the 4 years I put in about being dedicated, being sacrificed, all those things we talked about. I thought there was that magic moment coming at the end, and it never came. The 4 years, you realize the work that you put in, that's the achievement in itself, right? And you feel that fulfillment. I promise you, when you guys chase your goals like that, you will feel that fulfillment of reaching your goals because you put in the work to put yourself in the best position to do so. Does that make sense? Anybody? Tell me what I'm talking about. Somebody. What you got?
That you're not always expected to have a happy ending.
Yeah, for sure. Life doesn't always have happy endings. What do you got? Give me something. What did I just say? What's that lesson? Come on. I'm gonna wait. What do you got? Don't be shy. Right? You don't deserve anything. You gotta work for it. You gotta sacrifice. And you still may not get it. You still may not get it. Okay? That's the message there. Okay, so I graduated. I played 4 years at Stony Brook. I learned a ton of shit. I never had that moment. I never hit the game-winning shot. I never played in the NCAA tournament. But what I did was reach my goal. I played 4 years of Division I basketball. And nobody can take that away from you at the end of that. Right? So that's something that I'm very proud of. Right? And I also put myself in the best position for my other goal, which was to what? Coach. Okay, so I'll take it to the next step before we. Out of college, I wanted to be a coach, right? So what do? Doesn't matter. I want to coach anywhere. I want to stay around the game, so I'm calling D3, D2, Division I, NBA, G League. I'm trying to get on the phone with anybody that'll give me an opportunity to get in. That's the reality. Emails after emails. Nobody answers, right? So what are you? Persistent. What are you? Give me another one. I've said the same 4 words the whole time. Huh? Determined. Dedicated. Committed. Right? So I'm committed to my goals. So what are you doing? I'm calling. People aren't answering. Right? Nobody's calling. I don't know anybody. I didn't know anybody at any level. I didn't know anybody who was going to help me get a job. Didn't know anybody. So you call, you beat down the door until you get an opportunity, and you stick with it. Okay? So I was unbelievably fortunate. I got an internship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay? The Cleveland Cavaliers, I was an intern for their G League team. Canton Charge. Okay? So it's kind of like the Swarm. Does anybody get the shirt, by the way? Where's the Swarm? What do you think? That's put our thinking caps on. Look at that, you guys, you are going to graduate. Good for you, okay? Hornets, right? Okay, Hornets. So I was working for the Canton Charge. So now I think after college, in my head, right, what did I do for 4 years? I worked my ass off, right? I was like, now I go to Canton, and what happens? You start all over, right? Nobody gives a shit about the work you did. Nobody gives a shit you played Division I. Nobody gives a shit about any of the work you put in. You're starting from ground zero again. So what did they make me do? What do you think as an intern? What do you do? Anybody have any idea? Clean the floors with towels? Coffee runs? No doubt. Okay? Those are both good examples. I had to drive a bus, drive the team to and from practice. Okay? It was a big ass blue and green bus. I promise you it's on my phone. I will show you the pictures after if you'd like. Big ass blue and green bus, 24 passengers, right? 24 big ass bus. You think I ever drove a bus before? No. By the way, let's backtrack. I moved to Canton, Ohio. Anybody ever been to Canton, Ohio?
Hall of Fame?
Yeah, there you go. Football Hall of Fame happens to be in Canton, Ohio. Outside of the Football Hall of Fame, to be blunt, Canton's a shithole, right? We are fortunate. We all live on Long Island. Me included, I grew up right around here, are very fortunate to live in a beautiful, beautiful area. Beautiful, you live by the water, right? There's great houses for the most part. Okay, we live in a great area. Right, now you're away from your family, right? But those are dedicated, commitment, and you're making sacrifices to reach your goals. Okay? So I moved to Canton, Ohio. I'm driving a big blue and green bus. It's gray. The sky is gray every day. It's snowing. I'm driving the bus through the fucking snow. Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter because you're trying to reach a goal. Okay? So with that being said, I did get the opportunity when the team was on the road. I didn't travel. Right? I was part of the coaching staff. It was a great opportunity to learn about the NBA, but I didn't get to travel with the team. Okay? I was at home games, didn't get to travel with the team, so when the team was on the road, I would work the players out that were in it. Okay, the Cavaliers won the NBA championship 2016. So what team was I a part of? Cavaliers. So I was fortunate. I got to be in training camp with the Cavs, right before that season. I went to training camp. Okay, I got to be around LeBron, I got to be around Kyrie, I got to be around Kevin Love. Who was the coach that year? Anybody know?
Tyronn Lue.
Wrong.
No. The Israeli Black.
David Blatt. David Blatt was the coach. David Blatt was the coach. What happened in January? Now you guys.
LeBron got him fired.
He got fired, okay, and T. Lue became the head coach, okay? So I was fortunate, right? Anybody like LeBron? I know a lot of people, and when I was at your age, I was talking about playing Division I, and now you're with the best player in the world, right? So that's a pretty amazing opportunity. So we went through the whole year, had that season, I learned a ton. After the season, Cavs won the playoffs. What did I get to do because I worked hard? What do you think? Go to the games. Got to go to the games, right? So I got to go to the games. Those are all the playoff games. So all the finals games. 2016, one of the best finals of all time, right? Anybody remember? 3-1, right? I was at game 4. I was at game 3 in Cleveland, Cavs by 20. I was at game 4, Cavs up early, Warriors come back, up 3-1. I remember going out to eat after thinking, man, this thing is over. Didn't believe. I didn't believe it. Yeah. But they did. They did. 41-41, Kyrie and Bron, 41-41. Game 6, I was at game 6, right? Game 6 in Cleveland. Amazing. Blowout, Cavs blow them out. And game 7, obviously we know what happened. So I remember, I can tell you this, I remember watching game 7, I didn't get to go to Oakland, right? But I remember watching game 7 downtown in Cleveland with people who haven't had a championship in 50 years, right? In New York, unfortunately, we've won championships recently. They haven't won a championship in 50 years, right? So that was a pretty big deal, right? So I got to be around that. I remember the parade. Anybody ever been to a championship parade? No. Never, okay? So it's at the parade, okay? At the parade, it's at the party after the championship. People were filling the streets, high-fiving, something that you may never get to experience. And you, meaning most people, don't get to experience that in their lives. I was fortunate to experience that. With that came this, okay? So, you know, this is fucking cool. Like for me, when I was your age, right? Thinking about if somebody told me I would have this, I don't know what I would not believe it, obviously, but like you work and you put yourself in the best position, and all those things that I've talked about so far put me in a position to be able to get something like this. Go home and thank them today for sending you to camp, right? Not everybody gets this opportunity to go to camp. Okay, so somebody paid for you to be here, your family, whatever your family dynamics are, they're paying for you, they're supporting you, they're sending you to places to help you reach your dreams, right? So go home and thank them for sending you here, okay? That being said, my dad was with me when I got fitted for that ring. Okay, so you're talking about pretty much the highest of highs, right? It was winning the NBA championship, right? I got to be a part of that. And now, right after that, I'm getting fitted for a ring while laying in a hospital bed. Okay, so at that time, you talk about perspective, and I'm going to tell you, for me at that point, without getting into what was wrong with me health-wise, a good day would have been walking like this, walking this far. Okay, when I was in hospital, that would have been a good day. So for me, that changed my perspective on when things are tough, right? You guys are all at camp, right? Do you guys understand? Do we, and I don't necessarily either, do we understand how fortunate we all are, right? To have family who, I imagine, takes care of you because you're here. I'm in the hospital. I'm in the hospital through the start of the NBA and the G League season. So what? What does that mean? If I'm in the hospital when the NBA season starts, what does that mean? Somebody to replace me. Right, I need somebody to replace me. So now I'm in the hospital, I'm sick, and now I'm out of a job, right? So I get healthy. Now I get healthy. And I was fortunate enough, because I worked hard, that somebody wanted to help me once I got healthy. And that's what it's about. You work hard, you have a good attitude, and if people enjoy being around you, then they'll want to help you. Okay? So I was fortunate that my boss wanted to help me. So when I got healthy, he said, the NBA season started, there's no NBA jobs left. I was at the NBA Finals. I'm at the NBA Finals, and now the NBA season started, and I don't have anything. But he said, I have a job for you that you can do up in Canada. I have a goal. So what am I? Persistent, dedicated, commitment, and you have to make sacrifices. So what did I do? I have a job in Canada, or I can sit on my ass at home and put myself in a really hard position to get back in the NBA. So what do? Move to Canada. So I go up to this league in Canada. I go up as an assistant coach. They fire the head coach. I was the assistant. What do you think happens next? They make me the head coach. Okay. So now, right, I'm 25. So now I'm the head coach, right? I'm the head coach of a professional basketball team. Professional. So half the guys on the team were older than me. Okay? How old are you? Okay, how old are you? He's coaching you. He's now your coach. He's your coach. How's that going to go? He's telling you what to do. Get on the line. I'm taking you out. You're not playing the fourth quarter. You're sitting on the bench. This is him telling you that. Okay? Who's the oldest person in here? Is anybody older than 14? 17. He's your coach. You're 17. He's 13. Tell him. Say, get on the bench. Get on the bench. Say, sit down. Say, get on the line. Okay, get on the line. So I'm 25. I'm 25. I had players who were 30. Okay, I'm 25 at the time. I had players who were 30. When I became the head coach, what do you think happened with the assistant spot? I was the assistant. What do you think? Any guesses? Huh? It's a good guess. Next guy up. What do you got? Hire somebody outside? No. You would think nobody. Nobody. Hire nobody. So who's running the team? Me. Who's yelling at the team? Who's got to be nice to the team and say hello to them every morning? I lived in a hotel, right? I'm 6 months, I'm 3 flights away in Canada. I'm 25, and I'm the head coach by myself with no family up there, right? But you got to coach the team, right? Those 4 words. I have a goal in mind. I have a goal in mind. So we go through the season, and I'm going to pause it there, and I'm going to tell you a little about our guy. We had one guy on our team. His name is Anthony Walker, okay? And I'd gladly show you guys some stuff on my phone after if you want. This guy played in the G League for a couple years, and then I had a friend call me and say, hey, would you be interested in this guy? And because I was in the G League, I had seen him play before, I said, I'd love to have him in Canada. He's going to be a stud, okay? So what he could do better than anybody is roll the basket. And who's a good roller in the NBA? Give me somebody. Clint Capella, perfect. What is Clint Capella so good at? What's he good at? Finishing lobs, perfect, good answer, okay? So Anthony Walker is the best lob finisher probably in the G League right now, and he was sure as hell the best lob finisher that I'd ever seen in Canada. Ryan Connors was my best friend in high school. We went to Harborfield together. Okay, so I'm away in Canada. Ryan Connors is my best friend, and he's snowboarding with his family, his friend's family, right? He's snowboarding. You guys, anybody ever went snowboarding? Yeah, you go snowboarding, right? Tragic accident, hits a bump, hits his head, dies, right? Tragedy, right? That's tragic. Think about what his family felt during that time, right? Think about his girlfriend at the time, right? So that's that's real life shit, right? That's life, right? You're talking about, we all have issues that we can talk about on a day-to-day basis. You're not at school, you don't want to do your homework. Those are real life issues that people deal with, and at some point the reality is all of you in this room will deal with issues like that, because that's life, right? The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So I'm up in Canada and my best friend passes away, right? So what do? I come home from Canada, right? I come home from Canada, I go to his funeral. Okay, I go to his funeral. So now, and I'm not trying to make this too dark for you guys, but I'm keeping it real, right? This is life, okay? This is life. So I come here, I see his family, support them, I go back to Canada. What's my role up there? What did I say? Assistant coach, good listening. Okay, I was an assistant coach, okay? I get back to Canada, right? And I know other people in this room have had issues with their family, without getting into that too, where their family, something happened to them, right? And that's life, that stuff happens, okay? But because you have those things and your goals and you come with a positive energy, then you're able to push through them and get through it and get on to the next thing with a positive attitude. Okay, so that's what it took from me in that time when I went from the high to the low. You got to keep a positive attitude every day. You lost. You get punched in the mouth, right? You get punched in the mouth. We won the championship in 2016. Obviously one of the best years of my life, right? I stayed in Cleveland. I was living in Cleveland. I was on my own. I was making decent money. And then I actually happened to get really sick. I got really sick, okay? So you get punched in the mouth, right? That's what you're talking about. So to answer your question, before I continue, I got that. I was in the hospital for a long time, and my dad was with me in the hospital. Take you guys through a workout, so I need is a couple guys. Let's start with, give me two. Give me two guys. Let's go. Two. I'll call them. Good. 1, 2. Good. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take it all the way back. Okay, so now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start slow with the workout, right? You warm up, right? What do you do? Ball handling, shooting, something like that. Okay, so at our level, it's very simple. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're gonna start as if this was what any of you guys should do with a basketball workout. We're gonna do some of that stuff. Okay? We're gonna go real simple, ball handling, stationary. Taking it back, anything you can do, stuff that I did in high school, stuff that you should be doing at this point. Face me. Okay, we're gonna go hard right hand all the way down, right? All the way down below your knee. You can handle it. We got our butt down, our back is straight, and our eyes are up. Why are our eyes up? Somebody. Scene 4. Okay, ready? Here we go. Every day, it's the type of thing you should be doing at any level. We're talking about high school level. When I was in high school trying to reach my goals, if you're trying to play 1 minute, you're trying to play Division 1, it doesn't matter. This is what you're doing. Same stuff, not trying to reinvent the wheel, okay? 10, 9, 8. At the end of this time, we're going to pound up to our waist. 5, 4, handle with our fingertips, eyes up, 3, 2, 1. Down, good. Eyes up. Somebody told me once when I was in your position, make it ugly. What do you think that means? Make it ugly. Give me something. Somebody. What do you got? Not you, Joe.
Like try as hard as you can and doesn't look pretty.
Close. Yeah, on the right track. Somebody else. What do you got? Yes, exactly. Right? If I'm doing this, it's too easy. Right? You're not pushing yourself. You're not going to get any better. What you need to do is push yourself. So if you're down to here, to the point that I lose the ball, then I'll make it as hard as I can. Okay, make sense? So now we're going to go with our left hand. Same thing. We go all the way down. Go all the way down. Make it up. We're going to go down. We talked about rhythm first. Okay, so we're going to go down to the other side. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go crossover. So we're going to go high. 1, 2. This is how I'm moving. I'm on the balls of my feet, right? I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm down here. I'm here. My shoulders are lifted. Your shoulders are the key. Somebody tell me why. If I'm defending, right? Why are my shoulders so important? Yes, right? So if I'm defending and your shoulders are up, if you're defending me and I lift my shoulders up, what are you likely going to do? Lift your shoulders up. Try to contest a jump shot, right? So your shoulders are key. So a rhythm, talking about rhythm, Your shoulders start to move. So now we're gonna go down. We're gonna go 3 high crossovers and 3 low. Just watch for a second. Crossover. See, I'm on my toes, my feet, I'm up, my shoulders are moving, and now I'm down. Right, so we're going high and low. Okay, so we're going crossovers first, go all the way down, and then all the way back. Okay, here we go. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. Good. 1, 2, 3. Go back. This way, now I've changed, drastic change of direction. It's tight, everything's compact, and I'm changing quick. I'm moving, tight. I'm hitting it hard, I'm stopping on one bang, I'm changing direction. Here we go, there you go. Eyes up. Eyes up. Eyes up. Eyes up. There are 2 different times behind the back. What do you got? 2 different ones. Wrap and straight. Okay, right now we're going to go with wrap. Okay, so I'm attacking one more. Wrap. Go, hit. Eyes up. Eyes up. Good. Eyes up. Good. Go back. You want more minutes. You want more shots. You want more points. You want more playing time. You want this. Everybody wants something, right? Everybody always wants more. So for me, my second year, I wanted more. I wanted to be on the bench. I wanted to have scouts. I wanted to be able to teach. Okay? And they said I wasn't ready for a lot of that, right? So I wasn't ready. But again, I still got to work on my game. Okay? And in the NBA, what do you think is the biggest action, right? The biggest action teams are doing in game, X's and O's. What are teams running? Multiple. Pick and roll, thank you. There's 1,000 pick and rolls in every NBA game. The real number is about 400. There's about 400 pick and rolls in every game. Okay, so you learn a lot about pick and roll. So now I need, give me two guys to handle and play pick and roll. Here we go, 2 right here, good, here we go. We got next. Okay, so now we're gonna play pick and roll. Okay, pick and roll. Okay, so the most important thing when we're handling. Warm-up stuff, getting early, starting your workout stuff that you guys can all do at your level to get you going, okay? Form shooting, very simple. Okay, so you can start right in front of the rim. We call this threes, okay? We call it threes just to get our guys warmed up, okay? I'm sitting right here. Somebody give me something on a good jump shot. What do you got? One thing, good jump shot. What do good jump shooters do to their form? Mechanics. Follow through, good. Somebody else. Bend your knees. Shoot it up, okay? Keep going, somebody. Balance. Balance, thank you, coach. Good, balance. Your butt's down, okay? So when you come here, we're going to get right in front of the rim. You get right in front of the rim. I have the ball in the palm of my hands. I'm going to sit like in a chair, okay? My feet are straight to the rim. I'm sitting. I got the ball in my hand, in the palm of my hand, and I'm extending, and I'm getting up, okay? Form shooting, get your butt down. We're making 3. Okay, Joe, we're going to make 3. We're going to take a step back. Okay, we're going to take, after you make 3, with one hand, now we go 2 hands, and take another step back. So right now we got 3, right here in front of the rim. 3 mates, butt down. warmed up, whatever level you're at. Basic stuff to get your body going, start the workout. Okay, we talk about the NBA. What made the Warriors so good? Tell me something.
Ball movement.
Ball movement, absolutely. What did you say? Shooting, they had a ton of shooting. What about the death line? What was that? Or the Hamptons 5 as they became known. Huh? Yeah, they obviously had a lot of talent. But what could all those guys do? What that made them so good? What could they all do?
They're great pass.
They could all pass. Thank you, coach. Didn't matter, right? Didn't matter. They could all pass. They could all shoot. They could all handle. All of them. Didn't matter. Draymond defends, passes, talks, can make a shot, right? Handles. They all can do that. The point is, especially where the game has gone today, you have, anybody know Bol Bol? Yeah. What is Bol Bol? Tell me about Bol Bol. 7'3", handling the ball, coming down the floor, like looking like a point guard, right? So the point is, work on your game regardless of what, don't be put in a box, right? You have to work on all your skill sets. Maybe you've played on the block your whole career, right? Maybe, is that right? You've been playing on the block. Doesn't matter, you gotta work on your handling. You gotta work on your handling, you gotta work on your shooting. You played where? Point guard, okay? So now you gotta run the wing. You gotta be good at running the wing. You gotta be able to shoot, not just pass, not just play pick and roll. You gotta be able to defend. Okay, does that make sense? So now we're gonna talk about just some attacking moves and some finishes at the rim. Okay? So you're gonna copy my finishes. Okay, everything's gonna be mostly 2 dribbles into a finish. We're gonna start simple and a little more complicated. We're starting at the elbow, we'll take 1 dribble, and I'm going forward, I'm jumping off my right foot, finish with my left hand. After you make it on this side, you go to the other side, and then you're gonna go, and we go to the other side. Okay, we're gonna go with the right. Make sense? Let me see you do it. I think you guys got this. Okay, here we go. Left your leg. Good. Good.
I hit him too hard.
Good. 1. Good, baby. Left. Good. Right leg. Right leg. Good. This side. Good. Right leg. Good. Now we go off the same leg. Now we go off the same leg. Jump. Good. Good. Same foot, same hand. Good. Left hand. Good. It's okay. It's okay. Here we go. Time it up. Right step. Left. Here we go. Good. Good. That's okay. I'll tell you this. It's okay. I'll tell you. So now it's hard. Right now it's hard. And I've been there. Right? We've all been there. That's okay. So what do? This is what I spend most of my time in the gym doing, is envisioning it. That's fine. So I didn't get it. So I'm trying to figure out. So now I'm going to walk through. I'm going to go slow. I'm envisioning my steps where they need to be. Okay, I got to step here, step, and now, okay, now I got it. Now I'm going to give it another try. And you go until you get it. That's how you get better. Okay, so you're using our imagination. You time up the step, jump off that left. See it? You take 1 dribble. Just take 1 dribble. Step with that left. Okay, try it again. Here we go. Back. Good, perfect, good. Hey, good job. Good job, good. Right, good. Up, good. Same foot, same hand. Good. Good, nice, good, perfect. Very good. That was pretty good. That's the second time we can use it. Alright. Okay, so now we go the other way. We're going to go Euro step. Everybody knows a Euro, right? Euro. Okay, we're going to go right and left. We're going to go right and left. I'm going to finish with my right hand this time. Right and left. Right and left. Finish. Okay? Wide on your Euro. You want to be wide. If I want to get around this side, I can't be here. It can't be tight. Why? I can get around it. So I got to be here. See how it's drastic? Everybody see it? It's wide. Right here, out wide. Here, out, finish. Okay, here we go. Right, left, finish with the right. Right, left, finish with the right. Good. It's okay. Here we go. Good. Right, left, attack me. Right, left. Good. Doesn't matter, attack. Somebody. Good. Attack me. Head on. Right, left. Good. Right hand. Here we go. Right, left. Good. 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 Attack. Good. Attack. Right, left. Good. On the side. Now we're going. We went right, left. So now we went. It's out. We're switching. Left, right, finish with the left. Attacking. Left, right, inside hand. What do you guys think? I need hands for both big with the left hand. Lefty leg, hands. Both of them. Okay, you can stand up over here. Let's go. Let's go. We got 2 lefty legs. Guys are believers. You guys don't think they're going to make it with their left hand. Stand over here. If you think they're both going to make it with their left hand on this side, If you don't think so, over here, you got all believers. We got all believers. That's right.
So you missed the positives? Or you missed the
Negative. They're not doing it.
Sinners from the right.
Committed now.
Yellow,
I need 10 push-ups from everybody over there. 2, spin, pick it up. Show it, hard. Step across your body. Good. Okay, let's see it. Good, drive it. Good step. Let's go back. Walk through it. Spin. Show it. Step across your body. Spin. Here. Step my left. Now my left foot's coming across my body. Left foot's coming across my body. Here we go. Here we go. Good, drive it. Good spin. Across. Good. Here we go. Spin. Up, step. Good job. Good job. Good side. Good side. Good side. Take it up another level. Okay? So if I guard me, okay, you're guarding me now. Pay attention. That was a step through, right? Now we're here. Drive it. 2. I spin. Now on the last one, what do I do with this left foot? Somebody who's sitting down, what do I do? What? Step through. Yes, across my body. Okay? That's because he 5 by on this side. Now he 5 by on this side. I step across. Okay, so we go again. Watch again. I'm riding. 1, 2. Spin. 5 by me. Now I'm stepping across. I'm stepping straight up. I'm not stepping across. I'm stepping straight and I'm finishing. Okay, full speed 1 time. Full speed 1 time. Here we go. Ready? Spin. Going. Step. Finish. Here we go. 2. Drive it. 2. Spin. Good. Pretty good. 1. Good. Spin. Step through. Alright, that's 1. We'll play survival. Gotta get that one first. And here we go.
I see.
Here we go. If you get it, you get a shirt. Drive it.
Finish.
Gotta get it right to get the shirt. Here we go.
Spin back. Yeah. Yes. Smooth curling.
Wait, what? Answer the question.
Coach Kev, baby.
We've heard of baseline drive. It's advanced. We've heard of baseline drive, baseline drift. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're not gonna shoot threes right now. You guys are gonna start here. I'm gonna drive it, right? I'm driving to the baseline. Why do you think that's an important movement on the floor? If I'm here and I'm driving and I got a guy on my hip and you guys aren't there and Joe stands there, do you think I can see Joe from here? No, I can't. I'm telling you the answer. No, I can't see him. So now I'm here, nobody's in the corner. This is my direct line of vision. Get in the passer's line of vision so we can throw you the ball. Okay? So you gotta learn to move without the ball. That's another example. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna throw it from here. You're gonna slide, you're gonna drift, we're gonna catch and shoot, we're gonna get our feet set, we're gonna extend, we're gonna hold our follow through, and we're gonna make 5. Okay, we're gonna make 5. Okay? Here we go. Good. Move. Slide. Good. We get a second ball. Target, second ball. Wait for it. Good. No threes right now. No threes. Inside the 3-point line. is my setup. Okay, if I'm looking here, and I'm drilling my right hand, and I'm trying to go here, this is easy to guard, right? Why is this easy to guard? I didn't get him leaning. I didn't get him off balance. So now my setup is important. So I gotta make him think I'm going left. I gotta get him off balance. So he is here. I gotta set him up so I can get him off balance. So I can run him, shoulder to hip, off that screen. You'll never take me. Okay, so you gotta set it up. Get him leaning. Get him leaning. Okay, and now he hits. Okay, so we're gonna set it up. We're gonna have a great setup. Joe's gonna set a great screen with a great angle. We're gonna set up the pick and roll. We're gonna turn the corner. Turn the corner. What does that mean? Is this turning the corner? Is this turning the corner? No, why not? Because I'm defending Joe. Turn the corner. Do what I did. You sat still. Do what I did. Yes, do what I did. Now why? This isn't making me commit. If you come out this wide, you're not making me commit. I have other guys here who can help you. You need to engage me. Engage me so when Joe rolls, I have to guard you and help. Right? So you got to turn the corner. Turn the corner tight. So I'm setting it up. Hey, get my knock off balance. Now I engage the guy who's guarding Joe. He rolls. I'm not going to play. Okay? So now you guys are going to come off. Set up. Great setup. Turn the corner. Finish at the rim. Okay? Here we go. We got to make 5. Got to make 5. Great setup. And roll down. Eyes up. Eyes up. Good. 1. Go. Get it. Anybody see what I see? You have an idea what I'm going to say?
Like going, just one speed.
No, I think their speed's been okay. What I'm going to say is they're both turning the corner. You're guarding me. Go over the top. And you're both going like this. Put the ball in your left hand. You're on the inside. Right? If you're defending me, after I come off, you're going to be on my inside. Right? You're going to be here. You're chasing. So what is this? A turnover. Right? If you're going right, the ball's in your right hand most of the time. If you're going right, it's in your left hand. So if I'm going right, I come off. I'm in my right hand, I'm attacking, and then I'm going in here. You're me. I'm going to defend you. Okay, second screen. Joe's handling. What is Joe need to do in this pick and roll from a handling perspective? Set up. He needs to come off the screen. He needs to what? Yes, and then what? Turn the corner. Good. So now he engages me. Good. Wait. Perfect. So now, because I'm here, I'm backing up, what do I have to do? Plan 2, Anthony Walker. I wish we had guys who were smart enough, but all they had to do was go like this, and Anthony Walker would have went up with 2 hands and dunked it, and the crowd went crazy. Okay, he had 5 dunks. His first game, 5 dunks, the crowd's going nuts. Okay, so he comes off, we're going to turn the corner. Joe's going to turn it, I'm going to be defending 2. Joe's going to throw this pass. What is this called right here? Anybody know what that's called? Pocket pass. Pocket pass. Anybody have that? Pocket pass. Why do we call it a pocket pass? Let's go back and rewind. Let's see. Watch. Go slow. Come on, Joe. Good. Roll. What do you got? Pause. What do you got? You're defending Joe. Good. What does he got right here? This. A pocket. He's going to do a pocket pass. Good. We're going to finish with our left hand. Okay. We're going to finish our left hand. Time it up. Catch it in stride. Finish the layup. Here we go. Set it up. Let's go. Set it up. Here we go. You're next to behind. Good. Here we go. Set it up. Good. Good. Roll. Roll. Good. Finish. Good. Get up the wall. Get up the wall. Let's go. Let's go. Good. 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 Set it up. Good. Good. Roll. Good. Left hand. We need 4. We need 4. Good. Here. Good. 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 How many we got? 3? Yeah. Roll. Good. Yeah. Good setup. Good. 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 1. Good. Good. Turnover. Here we go. Set up here.
Oh, gauntlet.